श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. So yesterday we were seeing this mantra, this 11th shloka, which is a similar shloka to the mantra of Kathopanishad. Yadaksharam veda vido vadanti vishanti yad yatayo vitaraga yadichhanto brahmacharyam charanti tatte padam sangrahena pravakshe. Yad aksharam veda vido vadanti. Veda vidaha, the knower of Vedas, they explain about this akshara. Naksharati iti akshara, we have been repeating it again and again, that undecaying, undestroying, that absolute, or that single syllable. Vishanti yatayaha vitaragaha, vitaraga yatayaha, desireless monks, yati means monks. Yad vishanti, they attain which, they enter which, pravishanti, pravesha means to enter, they enter or they attain which. Yad icchanto brahmacharyam charanti, yad icchantaha, desiring which, see, vitaragaha, desireless, yad icchantaha, desiring which, brahmacharyam charanti, they perform the brahmacharya, etc., the celibacy, etc. Okay. Tatte padam sangrahena pravakshe, that absolute state, that which needs to be gained, that I will explain to you in brief. Yad aksharam avinashi omkarakhyam brahma vedavido vadanti, that which undecaying absolute omkara, that Brahman which is called omkara, which is termed as Om, or which is referred to by the name Om, which has the name Om. Veda vido vadanti, this is what the Veda Vidas, the people who know the Vedas, they know. Who know the Veda. Veda means it is not just Vidajnana, it is not just the knowledge, it is the self. Okay? They say. How do you know? Ye tadvai tadaksharam gargi brahmana vivadanti asthulam manoharaspamadhirgham ityadi vachanihi. With these statements, it is seen in the Vedas, O Gargi, this is that akshara which the Brahmins abhivadanti. Abhivadana means it is not abhivadana, it is abhivadana. Abhivadana means when you introduce yourself to someone, you prostrate in front of them, declaring your tradition. That is abhivadana. Abhivadana means completely, abhitaha on both sides means completely explaining it, totally explaining it. So abhivadanti, the Brahmins explain it in which way? Asthulam ananoharaspamadhirgham, it is not atom size, it's not huge, it is not small, it is not tall, etc. In these contradictory terms it is said. Why? Because sarva vishesha nivartanena pratipadayanti, they establish it by negating all the attributes. We have associated ourselves with things, objects. So whenever we say Brahman, we immediately try to objectify it. So objects need attributes. So devoid of attributes, there can be no thought about that. So that is the state we are going, the Shruti is interested in taking you to. Okay, na kevalam pramanam pramana kushalaihi eva pratipannam kintu mukto upasapyataya taihi api anubhutam ityah. It is not just people who are experts in the pramanas, they gain this. People who are experts in pramanas means in the Vedic knowledge, they can gain this. No, mukta upasrupyastaya, mukta upasrupya, sripa sarpane, to be close. So the people who are close to the muktas, or the people who are muktas themselves, they also taihi api anubhavitam iti, they also experience this. Vishanti swarupataya. Vishanti, they enter. Enter means in which way? Swarupataya, not as a something else. They enter it as their own self. They understand it as their own self. Samyak darshane. How do they enter it? How do they understand it as their own self? Through the right knowledge. Yadaksharam yatayaha, that absolute non-dual self akshara, or that syllable, who the yatayaha, yatis. Yati means yata prayatane is the root word, to put effort. Those who make effort. Effort for what? Not for stupid things. So he says yatana shilaha. Yatana shila, yataya means yatana shilaha, people who have the habit, shila, habit of putting effort. Putting effort for what? For the household chores like rice, salt, etc., or the buildings like stone, sand, all these ideas to people. Because why we have to say this? Because these yatis, they should have to focus on self, but instead of that they are interested in self, focusing on something else, everything else, not something else, everything else. And the grahasthas, they need to focus on the family first, but instead of that they focus on everything. They try to behave like a sannyasi. Sannyasi behaves like a grahastha, and a grahastha behaves like a sannyasi. This is the problem. And that is why in the earlier chapter, Bhagavan very clearly declared paradharmo bhayavaha. Bhayavaha, bhayam avahati, bhayam vahati iti bhayavaha. It brings in fear, which the paradharma, whether it belongs to your varna or ashrama, whatever it is, that will bring in fear. So he says sannyasinaha yatanashila, those people who have the habit of practicing, means sannyasina. Sannyasis, we are not talking about someone else, not some other practices. Sannyasinaha. Sannyasi means oh, we have seen sannyasis, because immediately over it may be there are people who follow every Tom, Dick, Harry, Anandas. Tom Ananda, whatever Ananda is. So they want to follow each and every Ananda. That's the problem. Here, that is not the right choice, because not all these people who have the Ananda in their name have Ananda inside them. No. They are crazy for things. Whoever is crazy for things, they cannot have Ananda. So he says, Vitaragaha. They are, the sannyasis we are talking about is Vitaragaha, Vigataragaha. They are devoid of a desire. Means a nispriha attachment. They are devoid of desire means they are devoid of any attachment. So, na kevalam siddhaihi anubhutam sadhana sadhakanam api sarvo api prayasah tadartham ityah. It is not just siddhas, only the accomplished will be able to. No. Even the sadhakas, even the people who practice, who are in the path of practice, they also are doing their efforts. They are also putting their effort only for knowing this. Yadichantaha, desiring which, oh, like we always say, you say you should not have any desire, but you people also have desire for self-knowledge, right? See how I caught him. So this is what these stupid intellectual people think. They cornered us. This is not desire for gaining something external to us. This is a desire for knowledge which is not external to us. Knowledge should be gained, right? Even that has to be gained. No. Ignorance is removed, not knowledge gained. We have a different take on it. Understand that. We don't gain knowledge, we remove ignorance. So that is the idea here. Okay, so he says that is why Vitaragaha and Yed Ichantaha, they are not contradictory. These people desireless, maybe we can explain it, they are accomplished and these people are not accomplished. From that sense, we can explain that. But still, desire and desirelessness are not contradictory here, because knowledge of self is not something which is gained. It is not apraptasya praptah, it is prapta praptah, which we have already gained. Praptasya praptah, which we have already gained, that we are gaining. That's all. Okay. So, yadichantah, ichantah means nyatum. To know, desiring which, to know, sangrahena. Sangrahena means by nicely collecting the essence. Sangraha means the essence. Sanshepena, in brief. And again, Brahma, again, okay. Naistikaha, no, I skipped one line. Edichanta Naistikaha Brahmacharina. Naistika Brahmachari. See, actually, the Brahmachari he is speaking about is not the Brahmachari, because I've already explained this once, and again I'm explaining today. Some people, after getting married, having kids, and all that, they enter the ashram of brahmachari. I am a brahmachari in that ashram. I am brahmachari. That is stupidity. You cannot be a brahmachari in any ashram, because you have moved on from the brahmachari life to the next life. You cannot become brahmachari again. After becoming a grastha, you cannot revert back to brahmachari. No, that is not accepted. So garvapasi is possible, but not this. So not this returning back to the brahmacharya or lower state. It is impossible. Okay. So here brahmacharyam. This brahmachari which we are talking about is not the normal kind of brahmachari. Abnormal kind of brahmachari. Is there someone like that? Yes, there is some other kind called brahmachari, which is not the normal kind of brahmachari. What is the brahmachari? See, there are people who study in the Gurukula. They study Vedas and Shastras. After studying, some people want to go out and get married and follow a family life. So they take this convocation ceremony called Avabhrata Snana. Okay, it's like a certification day, convocation day. So after giving him the convocation and all, blessing him and giving him some advice of how to conduct himself in the outside world, etc., the Guru sends him out. But there are some people who don't want to go out of the ashrama. Why? Good food. No, not because of that. They want to serve the Guru. They want to stay and serve the Guru. So that can be in two ways. Either serve the Guru directly or also assist him in teaching, etc. That also is possible. For a person who is expert, who knows as much as the Guru knows, then it is possible. That way also he can assist. So that way he stays with the Guru as a Naishtika Brahmachari. This Naishtika Brahmachari is negated in Kali Yuga by the Shastras. It is not possible in this period. But we can claim. But there are Naishtika Brahmacharis who claim themselves to be Naishtika Brahmacharis. It is like a prelude to sannyasa. It is a test drive to sannyasa actually. That is what this Naishtika Brahmachari is. They will wear the ochre robe, and some places they have a pink robe or a yellow robe, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's anyway not accepted. Okay. So they wear this, they will have the shikha, tuft, they will have the yajnopavita, sacred thread, etc. All similar to a normal brahmachari, but the color of the dress is the only thing which is different. So this Naishtika brahmachari is, we are not talking about that. So brahmachari, Naishtikaha brahmacharinaha brahmacharyam. We are talking about the brahmachari who stays with the Guru. How do you know? Gurukula vasadi tapascharanti. They stay in the Gurukula, continue staying in the Gurukula. That is a penance. To stay with the Guru is a why? Because Guru will always be taunting you. Don't do that. Don't do this. No, that is not the thing. It is a practice. Meaning serving Guru is a is a tapas, it's a penance. That itself is a sadhana. So, yavat jivam tad aksharaksham padam padaniyam te tubhyam. Till when? Till when do they do this, sir? Normally, it is only during the time you visit, but this Naishtika Brahmachari, when he takes the Naishtika order, yavat jivam, till his death, he serves. So, tad aksharakhyam is very difficult actually. Not just because the guru is going to say not this, not this, not this, and all that. Not this of the Vedanta. Don't do that. Don't do this. Even if he is not going to say anything, the disciple, for the first 10 days, he will be complaining about all the others. For the first 10 days, he will be complaining about all the others. From the 11th day, will he stop? No, that is not the matter. From the 11th day, he will complain about the guru also. So, that is the problem. So, yavad jivam is very difficult. Till death do us apart is very difficult. So, that aksharakyam padam padaniyam, that akshara which is pada, that is padaniyam which should be gained, that te tubhyam sangrahena, that I am explaining to you in the essence. Essence means sankshepena, in brief. Aham pravakshye, I will explain to you. Prakarshena kathayishyami, I will explain it in detail, in beautiful, nice way. See, there are two things. You can talk pages of things, like hour, 2 hour, and finally when you ask people, oh, he spoke for 1 hour, but I didn't understand anything. There is this problem. B, next scenario. Oh, he didn't speak much. Anyway, he just spoke like a sutra, but I didn't understand anything. Okay, so you speak too much, people don't understand. You don't speak, you speak very less, still people don't understand. On the other hand, oh, he spoke for 2 hours. I didn't even realize that 2 hours are gone. And not just that, whatever he said, it is etched in my brain. I remember everything what he said. That is also possible. And he just spoke like a sutra. It's just brief, a punchline kind of. But whatever needs to be understood is said very clearly. So you can confuse people, not give them clear knowledge by giving a big lecture or speaking very briefly. At the same time, you can speak briefly or give a big lecture and explain things in detail. Here Bhagavan says, I will give you the essence, the brief in totality, complete. That is why he says, prakarshena, sankshepena, prakarshena. That is the understanding. Otherwise, they are contradictory. Okay? So, kathayishyami, yatha tava bodhavavati. See, what is this prakarshena? I am going to explain it to you in that way, in which way you will be able to understand, you will know the self. Ataha tadaksharam katham maya nyayamiti akulo mabhut. Therefore, don't get troubled. Don't get busy. How will I gain that? How will I gain this akshara Brahman? Don't be troubled because of that. I am going to explain to you in detail. Iti abhipraya. That is the idea. Atracha parasya brahmanah vachakarupena प्रतिमावत् प्रतीकरूपेण च यः पुनरेतं त्रिमात्रेण ओमित्ये अनेन एव अक्षरेण परमं पुरुषम् अभिध्यायीत सतमधिगच्छति इत्यादि वचनैः मन्दमध्यमबुद्धीनां क्रमुक्ति फलकम् उपासनम् उक्तं तदेव इहापि विवक्षितं भगवता. So, what is this? We were speaking about the Brahman, the non-dual self, and suddenly we are taking a detour into something else, some upasana. So to explain that here says, Parasya Brahmanah, that absolute self, Vachaka Rupena as the name, the Brahman is its name, the Omkara is its name in that way, and pratikmavat pratika rupena, as an objectification. There are two ways to meditate on the self. One is pratika upasana, the other is ahangraha upasana. Pratika upasana, you are seeing the object in front of you as I. Okay? In ahangraha upasana, you are seeing the object as a you. You are transferring the self on the object. You are transferring the object on the self. That is different. Ahangraha upasana means absorbing it in yourself. Pratika upasana means projecting externally on the object. That is the idea. Pratika means object, objectification. Okay, so you can either project yourself on that or merge that in yourself. So this way, here he is saying he's pratika, he's projecting the self on that. So yah punar etam trimatrena, one who this with these three syllables, these three characters, akara ukara makara, this omkara iti omiti aneneva aksharena, with this undecaying undestructible syllable omkara, with this omkara param purusham avidhyayita, meditates upon that absolute self, satamadhigacchati, he gains that. You can meditate on that omkara and gain that. Oh, this seems simple, this is easy, why should I break my head, pull my hair trying to understand Vedanta? If you think, wait. Iti ityadi vachanaihi, these statements are for, read carefully, manda madhyama buddhinam, people who are dullards, dimwits and mediocre. For people who are dimwits and mediocre, for them, for that kind of adhikari, intellect people, krama mukti falakam, to gain the mukti, not directly sakshat, not sakshat mukti, krama mukti, in stages. Upasana muktam, the upasana is said in the Shruti. Tadeva hapi vakshitam bhagavata, that is exactly what is said by Bhagavan here also. So this is krama mukti, not direct mukti, it's the indirect mukti, detour mukti, going to the other world and all that, staying there and all that. Okay, ataha, therefore yoga dharana sahitam omkara upasanam tatphalam swaswarupam tato apunaravrittihi tanmargascha iti arthajatam uchyate yavad adhyaya samaptihi. So till the end of end of chapter of this chapter, Bhagavan is going to say these things. Yoga dharana sahita omkara upasanam. Omkara upasana along with the yoga dharana. Okay. Then tat phalam swaswarupam. Its result, one's own self. Then gaining one's own self, apunaravarti, not returning back. Nasapunaravartate iti, the Shruti repeats twice to establish that he will not come back. Okay. Apunaravarti, that is the third thing. And tanmargascha, the path he will go, he will travel from here. All these will be explained from here till the chapter end. Tatra pravakshi iti pratignatam artham sopakaranam aha dvabhyam. See, he said pravakshye, I will explain in detail. The brief, I will explain in totality, he said. That whatever he did pratignya of, he declared that I am going to explain this. That sopakaranam, with all the sadhanas, all the means, upakarana, karana means sadhakatamam karanam. That is what the grammarians say. Sadhakatamam karanam, the most desired is karana. But the logician says the karana, prakrishta karana is karana. The best karana, the main reason, the main cause is karana. Okay, so along with the means, whatever be it, so along with the means, he is explaining in dvabhyam with two slokas. Concurrently, he is taking here. Sarvat dvarani sanyamya manohridi nirudhya cha murdhanyadhaya atmanaha pranam प्राणम आस्थितो योगधारणम सर्वद्वाराणि संयम्य मनोहृदि निरुध्य च मूर्धनि आधाय आत्मनः प्राणम आस्थितः योगधारणम ओमित्येकाक्षरं ब्रह्म व्याहरन् माम् अनुस्मरन् यः प्रयाति त्यजन् देहं स याति परमां गतिम् ओमिति एक अक्षरं ब्रह्म व्याहरन् माम् अनुस्मरन् यः प्रयाति त्यजन् देहं स याति परमां गतिम् सर्वद्वाराणि संयम्य by controlling संयम्य by controlling what sarvadvarani all the gates all the doors all the holes dwara gate dwara hole so all the mediums through which you can go out your mind can go out we'll come to that sanyamya manaha hrudi niruddhya and then what you have to do with that mind hrudi niruddhya you have to place your mind in the heart मूर्धनि आधाय placing in your crown of head atmanah pranam the prana of oneself atmanah pranam prana can the atmanah can be adjective to prana atmanah pranam one's own prana placing it in your crown of head or the eyebrow between the eyebrow astitah one who exists stays in this yoga dharanam by staying in this yoga dharana atmanah yoga dharanam that also is possible atmanah can be an adjective to pranan or atmanah can be an adjective to yoga dharana okay om iti ekaksharam brahma om is this undecaying one syllabled self vyaharan by chanting it mam anusmaran and by remembering me by meditating on me thinking about me ya prayati tyajan deham one who goes leaves to where tyajan deham giving up this body sa yati paramam gatim he gains the absolute state sarvani indriyani dwarani sanyamya by controlling what sarvani indriya dwarani by controlling all the gates of sense organs when they take dip in Ganges they close with two fingers they close their ear then with two they close their mouth then with two they close their nose and two they close their eyes and then take dip you don't need to do anything just close your ears and then take a dip that is enough so now involuntarily not through other holes the water is not going to enter but still people do it now he says om iti this how do you have what you have to do is you have to control all the sense organs sanyamya swa vishayabhya sanyamya means not by closing etc swa vishayebhyah pratyahritya by taking it away from its sense object but how can I do I open my eyes and in front of me there is the sense object immediately there is a jnana indriya artha sannikarsham janyam jnanam pratyaksham the logicians say sense organ and sense object when they meet the knowledge arises so my mind is automatically attracted or averse to things naturally for that he says vishaya dosha darshana abhyasat tan vimukaha vimukatam apadaihi so how to get rid of the objects not by destroying it not by closing your eyes but by seeing the defects in them what is the defect oh this pen is not writing properly not that kind of vishayeshu dosham pashya see the defects in the object when we say that how you should have to see in Vek Chudamani it is said vishayam vishatulyo hi ragadvesha samudbhavah vishayam vishatulyah vishayam the objects visha means poison tulyah equal The objects are equivalent to poison. The difference is poison will only affect you when it enters your body, but Vishaya will stay outside and it will affect you. This is the difference. So he says, that is why Vishaya means object, means sense object, means it is defect. You don't have to find defect in it. That itself, being an object itself, is a defect. So by seeing that darshana abhyasa, by the practice, repeated practice of putting this idea in your head, what happens? Tad vimukhatam apadehi. You get turned inwards. Your mind turns inwards. You turn away from the sense objects. Shrotradivihi shabdadi vishyagrahanam akurvan. Meaning, through the sense organs, not getting involved in the sense objects, respective sense objects. That's the idea. Bahendriya nirodhe api manasaha pracharaha syadityatah. Though you control the sense organs, the mind will function. That is why even after closing your eyes, etc., when you sit in meditation, you will see a picture running inside you. The whole world will be running inside your head, wherever. Okay, in the mind. So for that he says, manaha hridi nirudhyacha, placing the mind in the heart. Abhyasa vairagyabhyam sashthe vyakyatabhyam hridaya pradeshe mano nirudhya. How? Abhyasa tu kaunteya vairagyena tadichyate. That whatever Bhagavan said, that, or in Yoga Sutra, abhyasa vairagyabhyam tan nirodha. Abhyasa vairagyabhyam tan nirodha. By practice and by dispassion, you can control the mind. Through that which was explained very in detail in the 6th chapter and in the Yoga Sutra, that by placing that mano nirudhya, by practicing that, controlling your mind, nirvrittigatam apadya. Controlling the mind means making it thoughtless. Making yourself thoughtless. No, I did things without thinking. No, without thinking is in quotes. You have to not think. Okay, so antarapi vishya chintam akurvan ityartha. Even inside you should not objectify, which I call bathroom dreams. So you should not involve yourself in that kind of bathroom dreams. Dirty, stupid things, whatever be the object. Object means dirty. Object means poison. Object means stupid. So defective. That itself is the problem. So whether it is outside or inside, it is all the same. Okay. So he says, evam. Similarly, bahir antar upalabdhi dwarani sarvani sannurudhya. In this way, by controlling the external and internal, see, this is very important. That is why he has to say he have to control. The prana leaves the body. While a person dies, he has his eyes closed, and then people will close their eyes. There is no point after he dies, whether it's open or closed. Does not really matter. But you are afraid of seeing a opened eye dead body. That is why you close it. The problem is actually the prana leaves through these different orifices, these different gates. For some people, they have their eyes wide open and they leave. For some people, they keep their eyes closed, but they keep their mouth open. The prana leaves through their mouth or through their nose or through their, even through the maladwara, the excretory organ. Even through that, prana can leave. It is quite possible. So that is why some people die and they shit, because their prana has left through that orifice. Okay, so he says controlling it, kriya sannirudhya kriyadwaram pranamapi sarvato nigrihya, controlling the prana mind and the activity, the sense organs of activity, bhumijaya kramena, by gaining control over each of these different stages, मूर्ध्नि आधाय भ्रोर मध्ये tat upari cha, placing your mind in between your eyebrows or on the crown chakra. This is not the direct means. It after gaining, you have to understand bhumi jaya kramena. You should not directly go and look, they do cross-eyed things. That is not what is said here. Okay, now iti purusha iti tat upari cha, and how do you do this? Guru upadishta margena, by the practice as taught by the guru, not on your own. So he says aveshya atmanah yoga dharanam. That is what is the yoga dharana of oneself. Atma vishya samadhi rupam dharanam astitah. He gains establishment in the dharana of the self, not dharana of some object, dharana of the self. Atmana iti devatadi vyavrityartham. So why see, instead of atmanah pranan, one's own prana, why is he saying that he should do dharana on the self? Why should it be like that? To negate doing dharana on different objects or the other deities. Because dharana can be on anything. Dharana can be anything. Tad abhimata dhyanadva, it is said. He can meditate upon any desired object. So, to negate all that, it is said very clearly that he should not be involved with the other things. He should be only involved with the self. Om iti ekaksharam brahma vachakatvat, brahma vachakatvat, pratimavat brahma pratikatvad va brahma vyavaharan ucharan. Om iti ekaksharam, this one syllabled om, brahma vachakatvat, brahma pratikatvat. It is the syllable for Brahman, or it is the objectification of Brahman. Therefore, that Brahma vyavaharan ucharan, meditating, chanting it. Om iti vyavaharan iti etavata eva nirvahe. See, it is simple. By chanting om itself is enough. Instead of that, ekaksharam iti anayasa kathanena stutyartham. Why should he say ekaksharam ityadi? All that ekakshara etc. is to extol this omkara. Omiti vyaharan ekaksharam ekam advitiyam aksharam avinashi sarvavyapakam brahma mam om iti asyartham smaran itiva. So, how you have to do? See, omkara is not for everyone. Omkara is for only sannyasis. You have negated omkara for us. Then how can we meditate? And why is Bhagavan telling him who is not a sannyasi? Arjuna. So, I explained yesterday, instead of om individually, you can chant on om along with the mantras. But he is not saying that. If you think, he says om iti vyaharan, by chanting omkara, ekaksharam, that one syllabled, advitiyam, that one non-dual. Ekakshara is not one syllable, it is one non-dual. Aksharam, avinashi, that undecaying, undestructible self. Sarvavyapakam Brahma, that all-pervading, omnipresent Brahman. Mam om iti asyartham smaranitiva. Or by thinking me as om. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Krishnaya, all that. So, by thinking me as om, or by meditating upon that absolute self as om, whichever, attributeless or attributed, whichever form you can meditate upon. Tena pranamam japan, through that omkara, meditating through that omkara, meditating by chanting that omkara, that abhidheya bhutam cha mam chintayan. And the object for that om, this is om is name, and the object is a self, me. So meditating upon me, chintayan murdhanyanadya deham tyajan, by leaving the body through the murdhana nadi, by the crown chakra. This is accepted to be the best accomplishment in yoga. And that is why some people lie about the death of their guru. They say, oh, he left his body through his murdha, nothing happened, he died of heart attack, simple. But these people, they can't allow. There are so many great people who have gained great names claiming to have died like this. That may not be true. We don't need to get into all the stupid things. Simple thing. And there are some ashramas where they do this compulsorily. If the prana does not leave through your skull, crown of skull, then they break it open, that area. This is soft triangle area. They break it open with a sharp edge of the conch. And one fellow, he ran away from the pita. There was a possibility that he could be chosen from that group of family for that pita. So he said, no, I will not go there. Why? He was afraid of this conch being put in his skull. There is other group also where they break coconuts on the head, on the skull. They break it. Not just one coconut, because sometimes with one coconut it will not break. So how many ever coconuts it takes to break the skull, they will break. But after death, who cares? But before death, you are afraid of those things, right? So iti nadya. So the nad, it can leave through, as I said, it can leave through any of these different orifices, but still it should leave through your crown chakra. Then prayati sayati devayana margena, and then he travels through the devayana marga, the path of the deities. But for the realized one, there is no need for these kind of stories. Whether it leaves through whichever hole, they don't really care, because tasya pranaha na utkramanti ihaiva samaliyanta. His pranas don't go up, they merge here and now in all the causes, whatever it may be. Okay, so devayana margene, he travels through the devayana, not through the path of dhuma, but path of arka. Not through the path of smoke, but the path of light, the path of deities. And then brahmalokam gatva, he enters the brahmaloka. After going to brahmaloka, tad bhogante, he enjoys things in the brahmaloka. After the end of bhoga, meaning along with the brahman, paramam prakrishtam gatim madrupam, he gains the absolute state, me. When after experiencing all that, gaining the knowledge there, being established in that knowledge, and getting relieved along with the Saguna Brahman. Not before that. It's a long, that's why we say Krama Mukti. Okay? Atra Patanjalina. With respect to this, Patanjali also has said, Tivra Samveganam Asannaha Samadhi Labha. Samadhi Labha, Samadhi is gained for people who are very studious, who put very strong effort. So in that category, he said manda tivra, madhya madhya tivra, like that, 9 categories. Dull, mediocre, dull, super. Okay. Medium dull, medium mediocre, medium super, super dull, super mediocre, super. That super is Tivra Samvega. A person who has dispassion and discrimination to the sharpest. So for him, Samveganam, Asanna. Samvega is here the control of mind. Asanna, it is very easy. What? Samadhi, gaining Samadhi. And ityuktva, after saying this, Ishvara Pranidhanadva, if it is not possible, he can meditate on Ishvara also to gain this Samadhi. Ityuktam, in Patanjali Maharaj says this. Pranidhanam cha vyakyatam. And what? Ishvara Pranidhanadva. What does Pranidhana mean? I know Ishvara. What does, as though he knows Ishvara. Anyway, He say, I know Ishvara, but I don't know what pranidhana is. That is why I am not able to practice. If you say, he explains that also. Pranidhanam cha atra vyakhyatam. Tasya vachakah pranavah tajjavastadattha bhavanam. What is pranidhana? Tasya vachakah pranavah. His name is, my name is Bond. His name is Om. Ishvara's name is Om. And what you have to do is, you have to chant Om and meditate on its meaning. Tat artha bhavanam. So, by that you gain samadhi. Samadhi siddhir Ishvara pranidhana. And again, he says in a different place, in another sutra, samadhi labha. You gain samadhi siddhi. Samadhi can be gained by meditation on Ishvara. Okay? Ihatu. That is said there. But here, you gain samadhi there. Okay? But here, ihatu sakshadeva. Here, he is not gaining samadhi, etc. He gains the self directly. It directly means goes to that world of the Brahman. Parama gati labha ityuktam. And he gains the absolute from there. Tasmad avirodhaya omiti ekaksharam brahma vyaharan mam anusmaran atmano yogadharanam astaiti vyakhyam. That is why to remove this contradiction, it is also said, same thing is said in Yoga Sutra also. To remove this contradiction, you have to understand this shlokas avirodhaya omiti ekaksharam brahma, this omkara, which is one syllabled Brahman. This meditating on that, mam anusparan, by thinking on me, by meditating on me, establish the dharana in the self. In this way, one who is establishing the dharana of self, in this way you have to explain this. Vichitra phalatvena ovatehe va na virodha. See, even otherwise, okay, is there no other way? Oh, meditation on Ishvara can give samadhi labha, and indirectly it will take a long time for you to gain the self. Or it can take you to the self. Because karmano gatihi vichitra. Karma's way of acting is very strange. So it is no surprise. We saw yesterday, same time birth, but different activities, different kriyas, different results. So that is possible. Okay, we will see this. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.